cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexistence, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexistence, but to know the real.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. I'm your host, K Money, and in the building with me, my co-host Slash, Freddie G, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. You can find us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast, and if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and or subscribe.
What's up, fellas? Welcome to another True Tuesday. Today, man, I thought we'd discuss this viral video that I saw last week where a father was kicking out his 14-year-old daughter for having her second child. Now, let me rewind and say that again. She's 14 years old, and she's about to have her second baby, 8th grader. And, in the video, you can hear the father, you can hear the disappointment as well as frustration in his voice. Mm-hmm. And we're four guys, and we all have daughters. So I thought we'd be able to dialogue and give our opinions on whether we thought he was right, wrong, or indifferent, and just give our opinion on how we may have handled this situation had it been us. I personally I didn't have a problem with him kicking her out, but the way he was speaking to his daughter is what I had a problem with, and it just said a lot to me about the environment that she probably was around, or I'm not gonna say a victim of, but it seemed like there was no structure in this environment that this young lady was growing up in. For one, she wasn't staying with her mom; she was staying with the father. Uh-huh. So that told me right there that there may have been a problem or an issue, because most mothers wouldn't give up their child that easy. And I'm not saying that it was easy for him to get a hold of her, but I'm assuming, that there had to be some issues or problems going on for moms not to, for her not to be living with her mother. Secondly, again, the way they were speaking to one another, he was bro this and bro that. Yeah. And she was pretty much talking to him like she was on the same level he was in regards to saying, I'm not going to leave until I get ready type of.
Right, and she 14.
Yeah,
but
14.
He sound like her.
They speaking as if, like I say, they're on the same level.
That's the number one problem.
So it just says a lot about, what this child may have been getting away with or allowed to do, and again, this is a situation where parents aren't together. So, kids are known to try to play parents against one another when, you have situations like this. So to say which parent, she benefited from the most is hard to determine or to decide. But she's pretty much in a fucked up situation. Right. Mm-hmm. But she did put herself in this situation. So, fellas, why don't y'all give me y'all's opinion on for one, if y'all saw the video or heard the video, and just give me your input on what you think and thought about the whole situation as a whole.
Now, I didn't see the video, so I don't know how he was speaking to it. But from the way it sounds when you mention it, he was on a childish level, which is probably why she had her first child at 14. See, the whole thing is a problem. And it's too late now to try to put her out when she have her second child, because what happened? What did you not teach her after she had the first one? So somewhere there was a miscommunication because the understanding wasn't there. And if he's talking to her like telling her bro this and bro that, then he was the problem. Me, on a different hand, I think I would have handled that situation different. Now, thank God my daughters didn't have a child that young, because I don't know what I would have done. Right. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't think it's time now. This is the roughest time in her life, and you're going to put her out now at such a young age? Why do you do that? Where's the mom? Why not call the mom and say, hey, I don't know what to do with her no more?
Well, mom was called, and apparently on the video, it appears that mom was coming to pick her up, and she, he was pretty much telling, you got to go live with moms.
Right.
Now, whether or not that occurred, I don't know. Now, you just mentioned, I'm sorry, I had a brain for it. You mentioned something just a few minutes ago that I wanted to touch on. I can't recall what you said, / I apologize.
I kind of said something along the lines of it's too late to put her out now.
It was something on those lines, yeah. Okay. I'm not going to, I kind of disagree with that because, for one, she's, I'm not going to say it's too late, Maybe she was just being disobedient and wasn't listening to him, or maybe he wasn't even present.
Right.
Which allowed her to do the thing that she was able to do. That's the part that we don't know.
Right. Because they both can be at fault.
Right.
At this situation.
But as a parent, man, to be going on having your second child, now he did mention in the video he was okay when she had the first one.
Right.
See,
I had a problem with that.
That was a problem.
Yes.
Yeah. He was the problem.
So, but listen. The first baby, if she was 14 and she's pregnant with the second one, that means she was
on the first one.
13 or 12.
Yeah, 13, yeah.
So that means she started having sex at a very, very young age.
Because she was under the supervision of her dad.
Exactly.
Mom would have never let that happen.
Dad was probably working all the time. Think about it.
Dads are different when it comes to raising daughters.
We're not nurturers by nature. We're providers.
Now, when you need me, I'm there.
Yes.
But to try to hold you from something that I can't see,
all we can do is give you the game.
So it sounds to me like y'all automatically think that she was with dad from the get-go. Could it have been that she was with mom, had the first child, mom was upset, you got to go live with your daddy. Mm-hmm. Now, when dad said he was okay with the first child, by him saying that he was okay with her having the first child doesn't necessarily mean he accepted it right away.
Right.
But the baby's here. I can't change it.
Right.
So I have to grow and be able to accept it because this is my grandchild. So with that being said, it could be possible that the first child was under mom's care. Mm-hmm. Mom and daughter didn't see eye to eye.
Right.
Yeah.
Now dad say, give me my child. I'll take care of her and my grandbaby. Dad lectured his daughter. I don't condone this, but the baby's here. I'm going to go ahead and do the best I can as your father and as a grandfather to make sure that y'all are okay, so you have a roof over your head. Mm-hmm. Now, in the midst of all of that, she goes and get pregnant again. Mm-hmm. Now dad is experiencing what mom may have experienced when mom had her. Mm-hmm. And now dad is saying, hold up, bro, because I did hear the deal. I saw it. Yeah. And dad kept referring to her as bro.
He was the one being disrespectful.
So
you listen to him.
Well, hold on what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let's call a spade a spade.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, sometimes your environment that you're in doesn't necessarily mean that because you speak in a certain way or you use certain language, not profanity, but if you're speaking in such a way, maybe that's just as high as your vocabulary go on the spot and what it, when you're communicating.
Yeah.
And not knowing that, okay, this doesn't even sound right. Somebody with a different type of vocabulary hears that and be like, damn, dude, you calling your daughter bro and this and that.
Right.
But it doesn't register that way with him because this is just, how he talks. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't necessarily mean that he's disrespectful to her. Right. Comedian 96. Mm-hmm. Maybe this is his way of life, his vocabulary. But what we can pull from this, because everything now that we're doing, we're just sharing our opinions based upon the video that we saw, right? Mm-hmm. But here's what we can say for a fact: Dad was trying to be a father in raising his child. We can say that because she was in the house with him.
Right.
Yes.
Dad was also trying to be a grandfather and help raising his grandchild. We can say that.
Right.
So that within itself has to be commendable as far as him trying to take care of his fatherly duties.
Yeah, it's a big step.
Yeah, you definitely got to, salute him, because we as fathers, in the past have gotten nothing but bad raps. So for a man to step up and try to take care of, like you said, Freddie G, his daughter as well as his grandchild, not knowing what his situation is, even though she is his responsibility, a part of his responsibility.
Exactly.
He didn't avoid it or run from it, like a lot of men, we know can and have done in the past.
Now, here's something we cannot ignore. We cannot ignore this, although we may want to, based upon how we see this video and how she was talking back to him,
right?
Because she was very disrespectful.
Right. No, comfortable doing so.
Whoa.
She was very disrespectful.
She didn't curse at all.
No, she was very disrespectful. She even talked about going to having more child. She talked about going to, what if I have another one?
Yeah,
she did say that. She pretty much said, "What you gonna do?"
But if you listen to, she was disrespectful. I think more of in a hurt way because she wanted to be disrespectful. She got the cursing. She did.
No, check it out.
I get it. I think
if I'm telling you, I want to put you, because there's something I want you before you interject.
Right.
There's something I was going somewhere with what I was about to say, but I want to address something you said. You don't think she was being disrespectful. Here's the deal. Bottom line is, if I'm telling you to leave, and you telling me you not gonna leave, and I'm paying the bills here,
that's disrespectful.
That's disrespectful. Yeah. But that's not what I was going. Where I was going with it. I just want to address what you were saying when you were saying that she wasn't disrespectful. What I wanted to say is this, that we cannot ignore. Man, she under 18.
She's a child.
So father, that is still his responsibility.
Right. Exactly.
And by putting her out.
That's not going to help.
And by putting her out. And what if mom didn't want to take her? And he put her out. Well, you know that is child neglect.
That's right.
That's a charge.
That's a charge.
It's 3 children you neglecting at this point.
So at the end of the day, she may be disrespectful. She may have made you angry. You may want to put her out.
But that's your
But
child.
you can't do that.
That's a child.
You can't do that because she is still a minor.
That's right.
And now you're going to get a charge for bad parenting.
Wait a minute. Don't they got that fire station thing? You volunteer, you turn that. You
but check it out. Yeah, they do.
I'm just saying.
Do. But here's the thing.
What he's saying,
here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Yeah, they do. But that's her child. That's not her daddy's child.
No, I'm talking about her.
Yeah,
he can't drop that 14-year-old off?
Listen.
That's what I'm asking. He can't drop that 14-year-old off and say, hey, I don't want her no more.
She too old for
that,
bro.
She too old for that.
Yeah, I think that applies to newborn.
CPS? What about CPS? I'm just asking. I don't know those rules.
Too late to drop your ass off?
Yeah. No, it ain't too late.
Check this out.
Yeah.
Let's say CPS come take your child. Because she's underage. Say CPS come take your child. How does that look to you? How does that look favorable for the parent?
Correct.
If it's on your record that CPS had to come into your home and take your child. My point I'm trying to make with this is she is still his responsibility and mom's responsibility.
All day long.
Right.
So let me, because you guys know I have a 16-year-old with a daughter. Well, she's 17 now, with a daughter, right? So speaking on my experience, I was disappointed, and still is, that she had a baby this early. But I also had to talk that if you have a second baby, you will see a different daddy. The first one is a mistake. I get it. But after we had this talk again, and you have a second baby, yeah, you will see a different daddy. I'm supportive now. But I know, and I've watched the history of women having babies at an early age. They have 1, then 2, then 3, before they know they're 23,
so check
4.
Check this out, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
So check this out.
Yeah.
Only because you brought this to the table.
Right.
I'm going to ask this question.
Go ahead.
Only because you brought it to the table.
Any question you want to ask.
Okay. Now, she's going to see a different daddy. But right now, is she under your roof?
And that's the question I want to tell you right now. I'm glad you said that. You said earlier that he felt some kind of way because he was under his roof. I would, even though my daughter was not under my roof, she's not. I still would feel the same way
That's
about
okay.
her having a baby.
That's okay.
You know what I'm saying?
It's okay about
regardless
feeling,
of if she under my roof or not.
It's okay
about
about feeling like that because she had a baby at a young age. The point I'm trying to make is, if she's under his roof and he kicks her out, then he's still responsible. That's a potential charge.
And the point
neglect.
The point I'm trying to make is, if I say, hey, this girl having a second baby mama, my daughter's mother, I call her, hey, this baby's having a second baby. I already had this talk.
But
I'm
if
not
she's going
finna.
to, if she's
I'm not
going
finna.
to
You
mom,
need to come. Listen, if her mom say I can't come get her, and
Okay.
if he calls CPS because his mom not gonna come get him,
Okay.
I can't be upset with him. It's not right. Just get this part right. It's not right, but I understand.
Okay,
That's all I'm saying.
So here's the thing. It's clear that he's not calling CPS because he said, I'm calling to get your mom.
Right.
You're using CPS
Just in case the mom don't come.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
okay. So if that's what you're gonna do, if this child was living under your roof and you call CPS, that still is
Ain't
gonna
no charges,
be.
though.
It's not a charge, but it's still going to say, hey, CPS had to come and get involved with you as a parent. How does that look on you?
You know how it is when the
I
CPS
know.
getting you.
I know. Look, even as a parent, bad or as a father, I mean, you know, you look good, you look bad, but you have to understand, there's certain situations you don't. You gotta. If the child is just being just straight up disrespectful and there's nothing you can do, you keep just popping out babies. What if this man? We don't know what he making, $50,000 a year. She popping out 2, 3, 4 babies. You know, I mean,
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
Community
you can't.
96, but at the same time, if she's popping out babies like you just proclaimed, you would have had to have seen the signs also.
What if he's a working dad? What if he got 2
I understand
jobs?
that, but as a parent, we still have responsibilities, and you can't just ignore the fact that you have a young lady, a daughter that's living with you at home. You understand that.
So now you're asking the man to be a nurturer and a provider.
I'm asking
so
him
the
to be
father,
a parent, to pay attention to what's going on in his household.
And do we, as men, actually see what's going on? We talk to our daughters, yes.
You know what?
But-
You know what? I understand your question, but let me say this. And I understand where you're going with that question. But there are too many single fathers out here that are getting the job done.
You're right.
So
There's an exception to the
hold
rule.
on. There are too many single fathers out here that are getting the job done. So when you use that argument, I will come back and say, for every argument that you say a father is not a nurturer and he's not this and he's not that, what I'm telling you is there's so many fathers that are. So
Yeah, there are.
so that tells me that men are capable of seeing that and doing that
Right.
and being what they need to be to that child, even if that child was a boy. What if a father was raising his son?
But we can teach a son to be a protector and a provider. Get what I'm saying? You
We're
can't
not-
teach a
we're
female
not-
to be a protector. And
We're
a
not,
provider,
this
'cause
is
by
not
nature,
what
she's
this
a
is
nurturer.
about.
Yeah,
This
but
is not.
totally different
This is
situation.
not
saying that-
about her
I
being
get
a
it.
protector
I get
and a
that,
provider.
But you asked me a question. I
We're
just answered
we're
it.
talking about
The difference between a
parenting.
boy
We're
and a
talking
girl.
about parenting.
Teaching them.
No, I'm not telling you the difference between a boy and a girl. We're talking about just parenting, fundamental parenting.
I know. I just said that. If you have a boy and I'm a boy, I can teach him to be a boy.
Okay, question, Comedian 96. You
But a
said,
girl, I can tell a girl the game. I can give her the game. I can tell her what to do and not to do. But for the most part, as a man, I'm gonna be at work. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna
You
be
don't
at
think
work.
it's working mothers? There's single working
not on
mothers.
that. I don't
so
know
your
what to
job
do.
is your priority over your child?
My daughter get up here. What I do? I take
Your-
her to my sister's
Your
house.
job is your
job-
priority over your child?
No, but listen, no. When my daughter gets up here, I didn't know what to do. Well, I had to take her to my sister's house. See what I'm saying? It's things that I cannot
Okay,
explain to her
you
as a
didn't know
man.
you didn't know what to do, right?
Yeah, no.
Then you had to
I
take
took her to my sister's
Okay,
house.
time out.
Because
right there.
I don't have a
Okay,
period.
that's fine.
Yeah,
Do you know what to do now?
I know now.
Okay, so that means you had the capability to learn, and you learned as a father. right?
Before I had a baby.
Okay.
I knew nothing what to do about.
I got a question.
I didn't have a little girl, so
I
it's
have a
my
question.
first little girl.
I have a question, comedian
Yeah.
96. You said if your daughter was to have another child, you would change.
I would, yes, you would see a
But
different.
why would it have to take for her to have another one instead of you changing after she's had this first one?
The first one,
which disappointed
the
you.
first one, like I said, it's a mistake. No one's perfect. No one's perfect.
But you don't think you needed to change now? You don't think your change
No.
needed to
I'm
happen
talking
now?
about, when I say change, I mean like you. I don't want to get into it because I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, and I understand.
Because right now I'm understanding, and I'm still hurt, but I understand you made a mistake. I'm here. I'm there for her, and I'm not gonna stop being there for her. But if she messed around after we didn't have the hours and hours and hours and hours long talk, and she had another one, then to me you just totally disregarded what I said. So yeah, my actions will be totally different from this father that I am now. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, one last question, then we can jump off of you.
Yeah.
But have you changed at all in regards to how you deal with your daughter after she did have the first child? Or were
What you mean?
Are you the same father you was before she had the child? Or are you?
I wasn't when she first had it, and while she was pregnant, I wasn't. I was just disappointed, but I had to get over it, right?
Right, I
had
understand.
to get over it. I had to just say, shake it off and say, all right, she's
Life
a little
goes
girl.
on and just
Life
be
goes on.
supportive.
Let me shake it off. I turned back into the old father that I was. So yeah, I've gotten better because now I have a granddaughter, so I have to get better and you know, and just kind of sweep it under the rug and just say, this is my baby. I love her. I love my granddaughter, and leave it at that. Let's move forward and get you back on track, little girl. So that's my mindset now.
You know, in this situation, man, we can assume a whole hell of a lot because we don't have all of the facts. But like Freddie G mentioned, you know, maybe the first child came, you know, when she was staying with the mom and the father took over at that time, you know, or we can assume that, you know, she had the first child living with the father. You know, we don't really understand or know what type of relationship she has with her mother, but we do know that it's strange because she did mention, you know, her mother didn't even want her. So we know the young lady, you know, is definitely going into a situation where she needs her parents' support. I was saying earlier how I did agree with the father in regards to kicking him out, but, you know, Freddie G, you brought up a very important fact in regards to how that's against the law. You know, just kick your underage child out like that. So
That's why I said, that's why I said police station somewhere.
yeah, you know, I believe in tough love, and obviously, you know, there's a problem in this situation, you know, but I don't think it's just with the child. You know, I think the parents aren't parenting.
So what would you do? Would you keep your daughter out? Would you keep her? What would you?
Earlier, I said that I probably would kick her ass out.
Yeah.
But it all depends on the type of relationship that we have. You know, I like to think that I was a parent to where I tried to be involved with my kids, but at the same time, I was a very strict parent, which I think also kind of pushed my kids away. So, you know, I didn't have that typical father-daughter relationship that, you know, most father and daughters have.
Yeah,
But,
and that's what
you know,
hurt the most because I had that father. I have, not had, but still have that father-daughter.
So K Money.
Yes, sir.
So K Money, you said that there was a parenting issue there.
Yeah, I feel like the parents allowed her to do a lot.
So help me. What do you say about kids who parent is doing everything and what we call decent parents? What we would think a decent parent is. There are parents that are actually doing that, but then you have these children that, because you can't watch them all the time, 24/7. They go out and do these mischievous things and these devilish things and devious things, but they come from a good home. They're just out here kind of wilding.
Taking advantage of
that doesn't have anything. That right there, those choices and decisions doesn't have anything to do with parenting. Because they're getting the proper parenting and the type of parenting they need. They're just going out doing what they're doing. And they come home and you don't even see those signs of what they're doing out in the streets, if that makes sense.
It makes sense, but I do feel like signs should be available, especially if you have a child that's already had one baby. Then
2 by 14.
I'm not saying this young lady was fast. But I do feel that her demeanor would have given away something to where the parents should have been able to pick up on how there's a problem. You know, I hear what you're saying, Freddie G, in regards to, you know, they're doing all that they can. However, she's taking advantage of the little time that she may have where they're not around.
So not revealing anything, not disclosing anything. I want everybody here to think about the very first, how old they were the very first time they had sex.
Oh man, that was years way
Yeah,
back.
you don't have to reveal the age, your age.
Okay.
I want you to think about the very first time you had sex. Mm-hmm. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about when you didn't have sex yet, but the very first time you started touching your little Peter Weeder.
I never touched my Peter Weeder until I was 20.
So my point I'm trying to make with that is this 14-year-old was having these sexual desires, and she ran across another a male. Now I'm assuming that this male she ran across wasn't no grown ass man.
We don't know that.
That part wasn't
I know.
disclosed,
That's why I say I'm just assuming. Hey, this was with somebody around her age,
right,
or whatever, you know. But think about how you were when you were young and you had those sexual urges and those sexual desires. So as a parent, you know that around about this time, my son or my daughter will start to have these urges. And you know this as a parent because you've already experienced it.
That's right.
You've already experienced it.
Well, also keep in mind, you know, with her having a child already, how her body probably would change and make her look a lot older than what she actually was.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Which could pull some of these, you know, older men which don't give a fuck, you know, so they just looking to get some ass.
Yeah, and we don't know how old the father was. But yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So I do have a question. So now you got 14-year-old, and I gotta ask all y'all. Let's get y'all weigh y'all opinion on this. You say you wouldn't kick her out, right? So you already said right now.
Who's you?
Freddie G. You didn't. You said you would or would not kick her out.
No, I wouldn't kick her out.
Okay, and then now you swayed your
K-Money.
You swayed not to kick her out.
I wouldn't kick her out.
Yeah, I wouldn't kick her out.
Okay, so I still would. I would, right? Okay, now she had the second baby, and you see she's still being promiscuous, sneaking out of the light, missing all that. She's being promiscuous because she's disappearing during the sex hours. Do you kick her out now? Because mine's already gone. So
okay,
between y'all.
So I'm gonna answer that question.
And then she gets pregnant.
She
gets pregnant again for the third.
Yeah, I'm gonna answer that question.
Okay,
but I want to even spoof it up and make it even better.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say me and mom still together, and mom live in the house too.
That's different. I'm talking about you, no mom, just you, just the man, because the man's by himself.
So here's
you got to take that out. Mama ain't in there.
Okay, so here's the deal. No, I wouldn't kick her out. The answer to that is no, I wouldn't kick her out. Mm-hmm. But we definitely will have to have a talk. And if mom is going to take her, mm-hmm. then mom, hey, you need to take some of this weight off of me because she's not listening to me. Gotcha. We're co-parenting. Right. So mom, now if mom saying no, I don't want her. Mm-hmm. Mom say I don't want her. I'm not kicking her out. Mm-hmm. But we're gonna have to make. She got limited. She's on borrowed time because she's still underage and she's still my responsibility.
Gotcha.
I don't like the 3 babies in the house. Hell, 4, 5, 6. I don't like all these damn babies in the house.
Yeah.
But you're still my responsibility. But let me make you aware, you're on borrowed time.
Yeah.
Because as long as you wake up and keep breathing, the clock keep ticking.
Yeah, and you're gonna have a job.
And you're on borrowed time.
You finna have to work.
Okay.
You know,
and pay daycare.
Well, when I said I wouldn't kick her out, you know, that was under the impression. Not impression. That was under the understanding that me and moms had a understanding to where, you know, we got to do something different to help us in this situation.
And that's what I mean. Kick her out, like send her back to her mom's house. I should say kick her out.
But if moms, just like Freddie G said though, if moms. Or like you were saying, if she's not in the picture or she doesn't factor in, no, I wouldn't kick her out. But I would have to hopefully had a female friend or family member that I can seek assistance from that would help me because my patience is short, bro. And,
Exactly.
and I have, like I said, I have that old school mentality, so I would need help. You know, we would seek out therapy or something, but I wouldn't just.
Yeah.
It would be hard for me to just give up on her. But again, it also depended on the respect factor that I'm being given. You know, because if you just totally being disrespectful, that's going to make things harder on how I treat you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, now, I want to test something out real quick, if you don't mind, K.
Go ahead and give it to Comedian 96.
Actually, I'm testing the whole table, the whole panel. I want to test something out. Now, I hear what we're saying about this young lady and these babies. Flip that, and this is a boy, and he out here committing crime and cutting up and not listening. And he 14, but he is wilding.
He got to go.
He got to go.
Yeah, I would
See what I'm saying? What's the difference?
I would probably kick his ass out.
He got to go.
I wouldn't remember the law at that time.
The difference in this situation, why he got to go, he out there wilding.
She wilding.
But wait. But hold on. He doing crimes and shit. I'm not laying my head down and I got the fear that you in my house. You got to go.
My daughter doing crimes to my pocketbook.
That's not a crime. To have a child is not a crime.
No, it's
but
not.
for this young boy to go out and rob and steal, hey man, I ain't teach you that.
Right.
You got to go. Because I'm not, once my door locked and you not in here, I feel so much better, bro. You got to get on.
Okay. Let's say he's not committing crime. He's in the house. He's not doing his chores like you told him. You ain't taking out this trash. You ain't cutting his yard. You ain't doing what I told you to do. And when you tell him about it, he gets an attitude. Now, here's the thing, though. He's 14.
Yeah, I wouldn't put him out.
Nah, not for that.
I'm not going to put him out. But what I am going to do is teach his ass he need to clean these dishes. We're going to go through it till you get this shit done. I'm going to be on your ass every day until you learn.
He don't refuse. You can go in the kitchen and say, this is how you do it, son. He won't even touch a dish. And when you tell him, hey, grab them dishes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to do?
I'm going to yank his ass up.
You know what I would do?
I would get these hands.
I'm going to yank his ass up.
I would roll out a cot, put it right next to the dishwasher or dishes, and I say, this is where you sleep till those dishes don't go to no other room until these dishes get washed.
Now he sit on.
You going to let him sleep.
In one room. If his dumb ass want to sit there, if he want to sit there for 2, 3, 4, 5 days, because I'm gonna beat his ass if he go anywhere else.
But look at what you teaching him.
I'm teaching him
You can't
responsibility.
teach him that. You teaching him to go to sleep on his responsibility.
If he got to clean the bathroom, I
damn
go doo in that toilet.
You have to start making them uncomfortable, man.
And I did. I'm gonna put the mat.
They gonna adjust to that.
I'm gonna put a mat in the bathroom, and I'm gonna doo in the toilet. I say you sleeping this right here until this bathroom is clean.
Do you know what? I think CPS need to come and get you.
You gonna clean up.
They need to come get you.
The bottom line, I'm sorry.
Well, no, I just wanted your opinion on those two questions. Your 14-year-old son, while and not doing crimes, all that. Would you kick him out? How would you handle him?
Well, I'm not kicking him out, but I can make him real uncomfortable, and at some point, if he is like that, he's gonna rear up, and when he rears up, I'm in the right to defend myself. Let me put it to you that way.
Well, shit, as fathers, because rearing up can be just you saying something the wrong way to us, and because I would take that as a rearing up instead of booting up. You know what I'm saying? If it came out right or wrong, I'm a react accordingly.
So the bottom line is, for fathers, it seems like we give girls a little bit more grace.
That's what I'm saying.
Than we give boys.
I'm even.
I think we should. I think we should give more grace to the women or the girls, the daughters, because for one, we don't know how to become a woman.
Well, we're not built to nurture like a female is.
They're going through something that we'll never understand.
Yeah. I get that you said it earlier, but again, even K Money just said it. But what I can say is, although women are probably better equipped to be nurturers,
We can do it.
It doesn't mean that we can't do it. There's too many fathers out here that are doing it.
But if you notice, I'm as hard as the woman as I am with the man, with the boy. I'm gonna love each one equally, but differently. So the disrespect for the girl, and she coming in with all these babies, you disrespect my pocketbook, because I might have $30 for the month, $30 for 2 weeks to buy the liquor, but now I got to spend that $30 on your formula. It's a form of disrespect, whether you see it or not, especially when you get to that second child, third, fourth, and all that.
I agree. It is a form of disrespect after you start having multiple kids. When you still living under your parents' roof.
Right.
None of us were ever given a manual on how to parent. We all did it trial and error. And it's not an easy job, especially if you're doing it single-handedly. Both parents aren't involved. In this situation, man, I'm totally praying for everybody, especially the young lady, and her second child. Hopefully, she's having a healthy baby. And the parents, sometimes kids can bring a family together. And in this situation, this family definitely needs to be brought together, because this young lady needs the support. At 14 years old, she's still a child herself, but having babies. I appreciate y'all joining us. Come back next week. Peace out.
This concludes another True Tuesday episode, and be sure you tune in tomorrow for another episode of Women Wednesday with Freddie G. Don't forget to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Sky Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Sky Podcast, and if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and or subscribe. And to all my 52 Sky faithfuls, it may be new to you, but if you heard it here, then you know it's true.